What's up, YouTube? Joe here. If you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411, 2 T's at the end of pilot. Anyway, we're here to talk about the Fast Devil 380 and the flight review and what I feel you should know about it. Actually, you know what? It's all positive. I have nothing but positive things to say about it. Well, let me take that back. Mostly positive things to say about it. So let's take the canopy off and get right into it. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about remember the tail wagging, that crazy wig-waggy stuff? Well, what I did to correct that was I turned down the head speed in bank 3 because that was kind of high. I mean, I didn't have any kind of tachometer. I was just going by ear. I really need to get that app. But I turned that down. That seemed to solve the problem pretty good. So I may have to raise the gain again. But now, the only con that I have, the only cons, pros and cons. Well, the only con that I have is the actual tail section. And what I found is that there's a lot of play in the tail, a lot of slop. When I can really wiggle it back and forth pretty good. So I may have to end up getting an SAB 380 tail unit here. I'm sure that's pretty cheap. It probably isn't that expensive. It's only 380. So I'll probably have to change that out because the forces applied are pretty high, and you don't want that to get fatigued because all you need is one part to fail and that's it. That thing's going in. But if you listen to the video or if you watch the video, bank 2, first part of the video, it didn't sound bad. It sounded really smooth, running. But battery number 3, bank 2, it sounded pretty bad. The tail belt, not the main belt, the tail belt. Don't over tighten that because even though the directions are like make sure the belts are super tight. Well, it's talking about the main belt, motor to the main pulley, not the tail to the tail drive. That snug it up good. Don't super tighten it like I did. I had that thing mad tight like it was the main. So it put a lot of pressure on the tail bearings, and that started to make noise right away. As soon as I ran it in bank 3 for an extended amount of time, it started to sound like there was a sound resonating in the tail boom. And I remember they did the same thing on the Vectron. It started to sound a little funny, and it turns out a bearing was bad. There was like a flat spot inside the bearing, and you could tell by spinning it, and you would be able to hear it clicking in the bearing. And that's what I did. I brought it home. After I brought it home, I was like, man, that sounds terrible. So I started to, spin it, and sure enough, click, 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 click. I was like, yeah, I know what that is. It's the tail bearing. So I believe it's from the belt, the tail belt being over tight. Or it could be because I've got to oil the tail bearing too. That's very possible too. But I don't think I did forget that. Because of all the problems I went through with the Vectron, I tried to make sure not to do it again on the 380. So, did I forget to oil it? This is a possibility. But definitely the belt was over tightened, so don't just snug it up. And if it starts to flop around in there, or if you start to slip, snug it up a little more. But don't freaking put your back into pulling the tail unit away from the drive just to tighten it up. That'll be too tight. But if your 380 does sound like that, what I suggest is, what I recommend that you do to fix the problem is to get new tail bearings. And what you can do is get SAB's 500. I believe it's the 500. Get SAB's 500 tail flange bearings because they're the same thing. So get that, and you should be good to go. Let's move on to the next. I think that was the only con. Like I said, the bearing was my doing, but the slop in the tail, that's on you, ALZRC. That's on you guys. But anyway, I would recommend that for the tail slop. Well, maybe all the kits are different. Maybe all ALZRC's kits are different, and if that's the case, that's kind of messed up. But maybe they are different, and maybe yours won't have slop in the tail like this. I mean, check that out, man. It's looking a little swazy. But anyway, let's go into the battery. Operation with the battery clip. This helicopter has the best battery tray, that I've come across so far. It just goes in so easy, and then when to take it out, to remove it, all you have to do is pull on this tab right here, and it slides right out. It's so easy. I mean, it clips in good, and you don't have to battle with it. You don't have to put too much effort into pulling it out, or wires really don't get in your way. T-Rex 700. The ease of battery installation and removal are great. I just absolutely love it on this helicopter. I think you will too. So it was windy out the day that I flew it. So, I really don't know if the skid width, the landing gear width is going to be an issue. It did tip a little bit when I landed in the gravel. You may have heard me say, I believe I hit some gravel. When I landed, it did want to push over just a little bit. I was able to compensate and get it back, but the blade did strike some gravel. So, but I don't know if it's because of the wind or because of the landing gear. Maybe this profile is not that wide, or maybe regular skids are wider. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't check it out, but it was fine. I didn't have any problems other than that with the landing gear. I don't think you will either, not unless you fly on a gusty day like I did. 25-mile-an-hour gusts. It's a little crazy. But other than that, it seemed like it was okay. I don't have any problems with the landing gear. I mean, it looks a little wacky, but you'll get used to that quick. Actually, you know what? It sits pretty good. I like the way it sits with this landing gear. I mean, it does look a little bit different, the speed landing gear, but I'm digging it. Geometry of the servos, the cyclic servos, pretty good. I actually, the geometry is good. It never really puts the head in it. It's just like the Raptor, the E820, is it? I think it is. I'm gonna look at that in a minute. But the geometry that the Raptor gives you never puts the head in a bad situation. You know what I mean? It doesn't overbore it or overstroke it, or it doesn't push it into. Well, I guess that's all in the fly barless unit setup too. You have to back it up, but still, it's a good geometry. I like the setup of the servos. Those of you who are gonna build it, if your kit comes with the collar. Now, my collar may be on upside down because it has the actual collar, and then it has that little ridge on it. Well, I have the ridge facing up. The ridge probably goes down. You just tell me in the comments, and I'll just flop it. But this helicopter is probably what I was looking for in the Vectron. To be honest with you, I mean, the Vectron is a 500 size helicopter. Obviously, I mean, it's a 520, but this is probably the size I was actually, this is what I wanted that to be, so I think you'll be happy, whoever. I mean, it's an old helicopter. When I say old, I mean it's been out a minute now, and you're aware of that. It's been out a minute, so it's new to me, but I recommend it. It's really a great little unit here. And crashes, I'm sure you won't have to break the bank. I didn't crash it yet. Give me time. It's a tight little unit. I got nothing but good things to say about this. The motor did great in it. I'm not used to it not being a pinion against the gear, So, but make sure when you do put yours together, if you're considering, buying it, make sure that the main belt is really tight. Like I said, I do recommend this helicopter. It's a really great helicopter. The battery, like I said, battery installation and removal is great. One of the best that I've seen so far. So if SABs is like this, then no wonder why people like SAB so much. ALZRC is the cheaper alternative. Cheaper price wise, and maybe tail unit related. If you're thinking about buying this helicopter, like I said, it's an old bird. It's been out a couple of years already, but still, it's a good bird. So I do recommend it. I should have did it sooner. I don't know why I didn't, but I recommend this bird. Go ahead and buy it. If you're out there and you're just like, I don't know if I should buy that. It's ALZRC. Go ahead and do it. Buy it, man. It's a good bird. That's enough of blowing them up. So let me put the canopy on and then push it to the side and tell you what's going on. Okay, now that the fast double is safely to the side and out of the way, let's talk about some other things. So what do I have coming up? I could talk about what I have over there, my little store over there. Let me tell you, man, the years that I haven't been flying, the months that I haven't been flying, last summer or maybe the summer before that, I've been stocking up on stuff, on heli stuff. So I have a store over there. Now, I know I said I had 5 unboxings, 6 builds, and that was because I unboxed this one 2 years ago. So there's no need to unbox it again. Because I did build it, that would now take us down to 5 builds, 5 unboxings, right? Why do I still have 6 unboxings and 6 builds? Could it be because another package came in? So now the one that I was going to unbox next, the one that I was going to build next, I don't know, should I do that one now or should I unbox the new package that came in? I don't know, I'm going crazy, man. Somebody stop me, man. And I have a couple of decommissions that I have to do. One of them being, you already know, the 550. We'll get into that some other time. Maybe, I don't know when, but we'll get into that. So I don't know what to do. Should I, do the comments. Do like people do in the comments. Leave a comment down. Let me know what I should do. Should I unbox next? Or should I talk about my power units and my power supplies and my charger and my batteries and my motors and fly barless units? What should I do? Leave them in the comments. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else for you fellas. I'm still going to fly this. Just because I'm going to go to a build next, or just because I did the maiden, doesn't mean I'm going to put this away for the rest of the summer. I believe I got it to where I like it now, so I'm actually anxious to get it back up into the air because I want to try a few things with it, you know what I'm saying? A few helicopter things. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to disappoint and not do anything. Then you'll be like, hey, what happened to your helicopter things? And my Blade 450, T-Rex 250, my Blade 150. You know what? Let me get that. Remember this? You guys remember this? I don't know how many of you fellas ever had the Blade 120 SR. This thing is what got me into it. This thing taught me so much. I don't even fly it anymore. Probably because the batteries are dead and I need to buy new batteries. But this thing is a little tank, man. You remember this? You remember this, right? You remember this. I know you do. You probably got one. But I'm not going to get rid of this thing. One day, I'll fly it again. I used to watch YouTube videos on the 120 SR and see how people were upgrading it and changing the fly bar settings to give it more banking ability. And if you actually got high enough, actually you can do a loop with these things. I mean, it will come flying back towards the ground, which is why you need to have some height with them. But anyway, guys, if you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411, and just stay tuned because I'm probably going to do the unboxing next. That's probably what I'm going to do. We're gonna call this a video, and we're gonna move on. Oh, you know what? I did this video once already, but me and all my wisdom editing, I deleted, man, a whole chunk of this video, and then when I tried to edit it, I was missing a whole chunk, and I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, guys, if you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411, 2 T's at the end of pilot. You know what I'm saying? So peace, cheers, see you soon.